I joined to protest the potential 9% fee increase, along with students from UC's system, activists, community members, and others who have a stake in the CSU. I decided to participate in the protest because as a teacher, I teach my students that education is a human right and it's not reserved for those who can pay for it. So I wanted to be there to stand up and practice what I preach, and I apparently did a good job because my students felt that and came with me. So I brought about 10 of my students with me. I was arrested with one of them. Skipping right along. You're welcome. So that morning, the meeting was actually closed before the room was filled to capacity. So my students and I were outside chanting when the meeting room was cleared during an open meeting under instruction of Chancellor Reed. In an attempt to clear the room and the courtyard where myself and others were, the police engaged in unnecessary amount of force. They shoved students from behind with no warnings, and pepper spray was sprayed into the crowd. The police officers at the meeting were actually from all the different CSU campuses, so there was a huge amount of disorganization between them. There was no clear leadership. They did not use any amplified sound to let us know their expectations. They did not warn us before the pepper spray shot into my eyes. There was nothing done ahead of time. So I was actually in the front of the crowd hoping to go into the meeting as it was shut down. So I was in the front chanting, and I was pulled into the foyer by my backpack after I had been arrested, put on my stomach, hogtied, and put in handcuffs. This is actually a violation of Executive Order 756 that says it is harmful to somebody's health to pepper spray them and then lay them on their stomach. So just wanted you to know that that's what the CSU cops were engaging in that day. And furthermore, I'd like to review Dr. Johnson's comments. I personally did not witness anybody pepper spraying police officers, and I was right in the front. I haven't seen any video, so if you can find the documentation, let me know, because I haven't seen it. And you already know about the glass door, so I'll move on from there. The two students arrested with me have similar stories of the way the police penetrated violence against them. So Chancellor Reed has decided not to come today, and he's also deciding to continue pressing charges after our arraignment. He hired a private investigator and is trying to move forward in these trumped up charges against us, these unwarranted charges. Just yesterday, myself and my student were notified that we'll be facing conduct hearings at San Diego State University in addition to whatever will be happening in Long Beach. So I would just like to ask you a personal appeal. Consider what message is being sent when students are faced with trumped up charges when they practice their First Amendment rights. What are we telling students when they face all of these hearings and all of these charges for simply being there? We're telling them, don't do it, don't exercise your First Amendment rights, don't practice democracy because you might get arrested and face charges which will be on your record forever. Furthermore, Chancellor Reed was responsible for setting the tone that day, deciding how the police should respond, and I believe he made an errant judgment. It is my opinion that peace officers should be there to make sure both students and administrators are safe in an environment where both feel able to express their opinions. As Chancellor of the CSU system, it should be Reed's job to advocate to you on our behalf. It should be his job to seek funding for affordable, quality education for all of us. Until that happens, until tuition increases end, until class sizes stop raising at the same time as executive compensation, until all those things end, I will continue to protest, and I'm bringing students with me because I believe in the necessity of affordable, quality education. I would like to protest knowing that the police are there to keep me safe, not to arrest me when an arrest is unwarranted. So I'd like to thank Lieutenant Governor Newsom, who is not here today, for his efforts in ensuring our safety and timely release once we were actually taken into custody. And I would like to thank you personally for having this hearing, listening to what I have to say as one of the arrested. I also have an open letter that we wrote to Chancellor Reed addressing some of these things. 30 student groups have signed on to it, more than 30 at this point have signed on to it, saying that they agree with it. and we have not heard anything back from Chancellor Reed, so I'd like you to take a look at this as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I believe we already have a copy of the letter, all the members.